Dads, what was your ultimate don't tell mom about this moment? My dad bought our family a car, and the bribe for my silence changed my life. When I was 12 years old, my family was incredibly broke. Money was the primary source of tension in our house, and my mother watched every single penny like a hawk. So, you can imagine my absolute shock when I walked into my dad's home office one evening and found him sitting at his desk, counting a massive stack of cash. I stood in the doorway, completely frozen. My dad looked up, his eyes going wide. He immediately put a finger to his lips and whispered, "Don't tell mom, and you'll find out exactly what this is for." I zipped my mouth shut and nodded. I didn't say a single word. 2 days later, he woke me up at the crack of dawn on a Saturday. "We're going on an errand," he whispered. We took a bus across town and came back driving a new car. Well, it was a heavily used beat-up sedan, but to us, it was brand new. As we pulled onto our street, he looked over at me with a dead serious expression. "Your mother is going to ask questions. If you promise never to tell her how much I actually spent on this, I'll teach you how to drive it." He had only spent a couple of $100s from a secret stash, but with our painfully tight budget, my mom would have absolutely lost her mind. When we walked inside, my mother relentlessly interrogated both of us, but I held firm. I kept the secret. True to his word, my dad paid me back. Anytime we found ourselves in a wide open space, an empty church parking lot, a deserted dirt road, an abandoned strip mall, he would slide over and let me take the wheel. I was a 12-year-old kid, feeling like the absolute king of middle school, because I secretly knew how to drive. Every single driving session ended with the exact same phrase. Again, do not tell your mother. This massive secret went on for 4 years. When I finally turned 16 and got my official learner's permit, I was buzzing with excitement. I finally had the legal right to drive on actual roads. The next time my mom needed to run to the grocery store, I practically begged her to let me drive her there. "Absolutely not," she snapped. "You have zero experience behind the wheel. It's way too dangerous. I'm not risking my life." I was crushed, but I couldn't argue. If I told her I had experience, I would instantly throw my dad under the bus and ruin a 4-year pact. This dynamic went on for weeks. I kept asking, and she kept aggressively shutting me down, insisting I was completely clueless about operating a vehicle. Finally, one Saturday, I was begging her again in the kitchen. She was giving me her usual long-winded speech about how I wasn't ready. My dad, who was sitting in the living room reading the paper, overheard the entire thing. He slowly stood up, walked into the kitchen, and looked right at my mom. "He's actually a much better driver than you are anyway," he said casually. My mom's jaw practically hit the floor. Before she could even process the insult, my dad pulled the car keys out of his pocket and tossed them directly to me. I caught them in midair. He looked at my mom and confessed the entire 4-year secret, the hidden money, the empty parking lots, all of it. I was standing there, absolutely stoked, practically vibrating with excitement and cheering, "I can drive! I can drive!" My dad looked back at me with a massive grin. "Drive it," he said. "If you can keep a secret from your mother for 4 straight years, you can keep the car too."